Here's my SEC power rankings for week 2. Number 14, Vanderbilt. I don't give two sideways shits how you feel. 2-0, 3-0, 9-0, 2-1-0. I don't give a damn. Them boys ain't played nobody yet. You know who Vandy fans are? People who went to Vandy. Here's another fun fact for you. Vanderbilt's a private school. Team tries that gangster and his real name's Clarence. I got no respect for the only team in the SEC that I gotta Google what state they're from. This weekend, Vandy takes on Wake Forest. My prediction is Wake Forest is going to bitch slap these boys right back into reality. And yeah, it's going to be great. No research or journalism necessary. I just don't like Vandy, and it's what I pray for. Number 13, Florida. My God, these guys played like shit the other night. Other than their quarterback having a few decent possessions, I didn't see nothing impressive. Then again, I did fall asleep halfway through the game. Utah won with their backup quarterback, and that's all I got to say about that. Y'all need to go pull Urban Meyer out of that strip club and give him his job back. Or make Tim Tebow the coach. Y'all be the Chick-fil-A of college football before you know it. This weekend, however, Florida takes on McNeese. I think that's how you say that shit. If not, I don't apologize. Yeah, I predict Florida will get that win and get back to 500. Enjoy it. I don't know if the season will get much better for you guys. Number 12, I got South Carolina. These guys gave up 9 sacks last week, okay? They had Spencer Rattler out there. Spencer rattled out of his damn mind. That man's so passionate about the CTE research that he took a hands-on approach. Man's got a major in crash test demonology. They had -2 rush yards last week. They'll be playing Furman this week, and I do predict them to win this game. You better. Number 11, I got Missouri. I remember when Missouri first moved to the SEC, and I was like, they don't belong here. And they made it to the SEC championship game. The first 2 years they were in the league, and I was like, wow, these guys are impressive. And they ain't did shit since. Guys beat South Dakota last week, 35-10. Big whoop, nothing impressive, nothing spectacular. Oh my God, just a little tune-up game, you know. I don't really know about these guys, you know, so yeah, I think I feel good about this spot. They play Middle Tennessee this weekend. I predict they will win that game. Number 10, I got Mississippi State. Mississippi State is that team that can be really good and suck balls all in the same season. I don't know how to explain. What I do know is these boys beat the shit out of Southeast Louisiana last weekend. Watched the game, seen the highlights. At first, I thought I was watching Spirit Airlines footage. However, this weekend they take on Arizona. That's a Power 5 school. I think that'll be a better game. Get to see how good they are there. I do think it will be a closer game. However, I do predict Mississippi State to win this game. Number 9, I got Kentucky. These past few years, Kentucky's been that team that seems to be right there. And every time they get so close, they just seem to choke. And that's very relatable. I don't see how you guys don't have more fans. They beat Ball State 44-14 last weekend, but they did start that game kind of sloppy, kind of at the beginning. It is the first game of the season, though, so you can't really judge them too much on that. We'll see how they are this weekend. Play Eastern Kentucky this weekend. I think they'll win that game. I don't think there'll be anything spectacular. Number 8, LSU. I don't want to talk about it. If you would have asked me at the beginning of this year where I saw my team, the LSU Tigers, I would have told you the college football playoffs. After last weekend, I see a prime spot in the Dollar General Bowl. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but Florida State beat us so bad last weekend that they might have to forfeit the rest of the season because half their team got arrested for assault charges. We play Grambling this weekend, though. I do predict we'll win that game. Hopefully. I really miss Joe Burrow. Number 7, I got Auburn. Auburn beat UMass 59-14 last week, so pretty good win. It's kind of hard to judge these teams in week 1 because they're playing a bunch of cupcake teams, but, you know, next week they play a tougher opponent. Weekend they'll be going to play California in a night game, so they got to travel across the country. Then they got to play really late, so that does play a factor. So definitely look into that. There'll be some jet lag, but I do predict Auburn to win this game. Number 6, Arkansas. Arkansas is my sleeper team this year. They got a good offense, and I think if their defense can pull it together, they can be a really decent team. I know I probably shouldn't say that being an LSU fan, and Arkansas was our rivals, but after some of that shit Brian Kelly said, the gloves are off. They had a 56-13 win this past weekend over Western Carolina. This weekend, Arkansas takes on Kent State. I predict them to win that game and keep pushing forward, keep building momentum. Number 5, Texas A&M. Y'all gonna call me crazy as shit for saying this, but I truly believe Texas A&M has a legitimate chance of winning the SEC West this year. Yes, I actually said that. They got good offense, they got good defense. Had a 52-10 win over New Mexico last weekend, but now this weekend they play Miami. If they can win that game, I think they'll start to build some momentum. I think people will start talking about them. Number 4, Ole Miss. The only reason why I rank these guys over Arkansas this week is a simple fact. These dudes score 73 points. 73. Who do you think you are, the Oregon Ducks now? I didn't know it was basketball season out here. You usually want to blow out to see 40, 50, maybe even 60 points scored. You score 70 or more points, you're just being an asshole. And that's something I can get behind. They beat Mercer 73-7. I heard at the end of the game they actually changed their name to Mercy. This week Ole Miss takes on Tulane. I do predict Ole Miss to win this game. However, I do predict it to be closer, and I don't think Ole Miss will be scoring 70 points this time. Number 3, Tennessee. Tennessee football has been looking pretty good recently. I know they took a hit ever since, Peyton Manning left and they started putting Sudafed behind the counter, but this past couple of years, y'all been looking on the up and up. I predict Tennessee to finish second in the second. I predict Tennessee to finish second in the East this year behind Georgia. They had a 49-13 win over Virginia last week. Virginia is a Power 5, but they're not a very good Power 5. They play Austin Peay this week. It don't matter. They're going to beat the shit out of them. Number 2, Alabama. Alabama had a 56-7 win over Middle Tennessee State in week 1, and I'm glad because that won me some money. I personally feel like they kind of started slow in that game, but they did build up momentum and got going and got more comfortable in the second half, I would say. Alabama plays Texas this weekend. It's going to be a close game. However, I'm going to stick with the homeboys in the SEC. I'm going to go with Alabama to win this game in a close one. Number 1, Georgia. It's pretty self-explanatory, defending back-to-back national champions. They had a 48-7 win over Oh, shit, my mama's calling. 48-7 win over Tennessee Martin. I know some of you Georgia fans were upset because they didn't win by more. That's just because you illegally betted and they didn't cover the spread. Just it'd be all right, okay? They play Ball State this weekend. Don't forget now, Ball State, Kentucky had a little tough time with them, so we'll see how that goes. But no, I'm just bullshitting y'all guys. Georgia's going to beat the fucking brakes off these guys. That concludes my list of this week's SEC Power Rankings. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a like, a comment, a share, a follow.